Good evening, you're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, Haryana IAS officer Ashok Khemka is transferred again, this time by the BJP government in the state. As Khemka tweets his distress, does the BJP, which once attacked the Congress for a witch hunt against Khemka, have double standards on corruption? That's our top political debate tonight. Also, as the BJP worries that it's losing the perception battle on the land bill and is being seen as anti-farmer, the party now prepares to go on the offensive to strongly defend the bill. But will it succeed? That's our debate at 8:30 tonight. We'll also have more on our anti-tobacco campaign. But first, whistleblower IAS officer Ashok Khemka tweeted his anger today at being transferred out for the 45th time, this time by the BJP government in Haryana, saying that he was trying to address corruption in his department, transport. But Chief Minister ML Khattar says that this was a routine transfer. Mr Khemka was sent packing to the archaeology department last night, barely 4 months after being moved to transport.
Whistleblower bureaucrat Ashok Khemka transferred again.
Are you unhappy, sir? Sir?
The 45th time in his 24-year career, but this time by the BJP government in Haryana. In a sudden order issued last night, Khemka was shunted out along with 8 other IAS officers in what the state government has described as a routine transfer. A furious Khemka tweeted, "Tried hard to address corruption and bring reforms in transport despite severe limitations and entrenched interests. Moment is truly painful." In December last year, Khemka had issued orders authorizing district-level officers to penalize vehicles caught overloading, a decision that did not go down well with transporters in the state. Sources close to Khemka allege that he paid the price for taking on the mining lobby. Chief Minister Khattar defended the move to transfer Khemka.
एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ग्राउंड पर सरकार को जो काम करने होते हैं वो ट्रांसफर उसका एक रूटीन है.
But the Haryana government also appears divided, with Health Minister Anil Vij coming out in Khemka's support.
नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल खेमका के साथ हूँ, लेकिन अब तबादला क्यों किया गया, किन कारणों से किया गया, ये सारा मैं मुख्यमंत्री से बात करने के बाद ही इस पर कोई अपनी बात प्रतिक्रिया दे सकता हूँ.
Ironically, the BJP had jumped to Khemka's defense when in 2012 he made headlines for cancelling a land deal between Robert Vadra and real estate giant DLF. At the time, the BJP accused the Congress government of a witch hunt.
Let the BJP answer that as to why he has been transferred, because they made such an issue out of it when the Congress was transferring this gentleman.
Khemka is back to this office where he was dumped by the previous Huda-led Congress government. A change of regime seems to have brought no relief for the whistleblower IAS officer, as he has been handed out the same treatment by the BJP, which swept to power, promising better governance. With camera person Arpit Jaiswal in Chandigarh, Anand Patel for NDTV.
Well, the question is whether the BJP then has double standards on the issue of corruption after attacking the Congress repeatedly for the way that they went after Ashok Khemka. Is the BJP now guilty of doing the same? Joining us tonight is former IAS officer Shailja Chandra here in the studio with us. Also with us, Kirit Somaiya, Lok Sabha MP of the BJP. We've got Shehzad Poonawala, member of the Congress party, and Aarti Jairath, our commentator tonight. Mr. Somaiya, how can the Haryana government say that this is a routine transfer when Ashok Khemka has clearly tweeted that he was fighting corruption in the transport department and that he feels truly pained by what has happened? It doesn't seem to be a routine transfer, Mr. Somaiya. He was only transferred to the transport department 4 months ago.
I think we will have to wait for some time. We will have to give the Haryana government at least a year. Two things are separate, we must not mix up. One is Khemka's performance in past, his duty, his contribution, everybody appreciate. Now we are debating and discussing the Mr. Khemka's transfer. But as a political activist, I will say that just few months back, Haryana government has taken over. Let us give them some time. They must be planning their administration. The policy is the manifesto always in front of us. So let us give them time. Plan their action, plan their team, give job allocation. So my suggestion, let us wait for few
Ashok
months.
Khemka was sent to the transport department by Mr Khattar after he became chief minister. So doesn't it look rather odd to you that he suddenly moved out of transport to archaeology, and he has said that he was fighting corruption in the transport department. So doesn't that look a bit fishy?
You will be right. You can be right. If the thing continues after the 2 years of BJP's government performance, if the similar thing goes on, we will have a point to debate, discuss. But as this is the beginning, I think it will be prudent. Let us give time to the chief minister, new chief minister.
But Shailja Chandra, what do we give him time for? I mean, is it common to have people transferred out like this? 45 times Ashok Khemka has had that distinction, and now within 4 months he's transferred again by the same government. It doesn't look odd to you?
He's obviously an inconvenient officer, and the only solution that a state government has is to transfer. And I think that when there is a court, I mean the Supreme Court has said that there ought to be a civil services board, and they've given a timeline by which you are not to transfer people before 2 years and 3 years, to send him out in 4 months is not fair. Having said that, I would say that every cadre in the country has its own little mavericks who get transferred like Khemka does perpetually and continually. That is because they are always inconvenient. They don't see the bigger picture, the political picture. It may be right, it may be wrong. You're obviously supposed to see that work also carries on. You can't be always taking on authorities. In this particular case, I tried to find out. I was told that it is because he tried to step in and stop this overloading of trucks, and they were expecting that there would be a big strike, and that is something the state government just cannot afford. So obviously if he was not listening, or he was not trying to be flexible as he was asked to, if he was asked to and he refused, well, this is the price you pay. It happens in every state government. I only feel that Khemka, it is happening one too often, because he seems to be only on one track, which is the corruption track, which is a very good thing, but you have a lot of developmental work to be done, and you can't in every job be only running after corruption.
No, so that's an interesting point you make. Are you saying that you believe that sometimes Khemka sticks his neck out too much in the name of corruption?
I do, I do.
That's a very controversial
thing
to
say.
No,
there is, if you take a complete balance sheet of what work an IAS officer does, an IAS officer by his very nature is an officer. He's not a clerk. He's not there to just follow rules and laws. He's also there to be, you might say, he has tremendous discretion. He has to use that discretion effectively to see that the work of larger number of people goes ahead. It is not torpedoed because of day-to-day considerations. I'm not saying corruption is not to be put down, but it is one envelope out of about 100 envelopes you deal with, and you can't be just after that one envelope all the time.
Okay, but Shehzad Poonawala, the point is, and I do want to dwell on what you just said, which was quite interesting, is that how can the Congress today turn around and say that the BJP is going after Khemka when it is the Congress government in Haryana that has gone after him and even charge sheeted him?
So first of all, despite me requesting, I'm here as a lawyer and somebody who served in the government before as an OSD, and ideologically, yes, I support the Congress, but that's a matter of coincidence, so you can change my designation as such.
You're a member of the Congress.
But what I'm here to speak about is something more important. I'm truly amazed that a channel like NDTV would get its facts wrong, because I saw the report, and mind me to say this, that the previous government had not transferred Mr Khemka. It was as per a Punjab and Haryana High Court order. I can quote to the one second.
Look, we all know the history. I know the technicalities that the Haryana government is going to get into.
Let me make my point.
You all went after Mr Khemka.
No, one second. Yeah. Let me make my point. Actually, it's quite to the contrary. See, we can either debate on facts or we can allow fiction to take over. So let's not allow fiction to take over. The fact of the matter was that Khemka in court said that I want to be transferred. According to that, 11th October, the order was to transfer him was sent. Listen
I
to me,
also
one
know the
second.
sequence of events.
Post
You know,
facto, he did some things.
He was transferred after he had decided to cancel the mutation of
No,
Robert
that's
Wada.
not-
That is a fact. You want?
Nidhi,
I'm not going into 4-year-old
Nidhi,
history. I am
Nidhi,
saying the fact is
because-
that can you turn around
and
blame the BJP today for going after him when you guys clearly did the same thing?
I just want to end this particular aspect by saying that if you're going to create a false equivalence between something the Congress didn't do and something the BJP did do by creating facts which didn't exist, because the entire thing happened after his transfer.
We know exactly. I know the sequence of events of how that played out.
let's move on beyond that
Yeah.
point. The point is that in January 2014, the very same Congress government which you claim seems to be witch hunting after officers, which it didn't do in Haryana, came out with this 2-year fixed norm which prevents officers from being shunted out of departments. The DOPT came up with it. So this particular transfer today is actually a violation of that norm, and Khemka can go to court against it. But he chooses not to go against anything that's been done against him. That's a big question mark why he doesn't. Apart from that, there is the whistleblowers bill that the Congress party had also passed, which this government, by the way, wants to dilute by making some exceptions. Apart from this government has had a history when it comes to Sanjeev Chaturvedi in the AIMS, when it comes to Sanjeev Bhatt, Rahul Sharma, Kuldeep Sharma, you name the officers, the DRDO officers. So there are a whole range of officers behind which this government has gone. I agree that there is a case of government targeting good, honest officers, but I also agree that a civil servant next to me says that there could be some officers who are mavericks and there could be some officers who are inconvenient. These are her words, not even mine. And I still protest that your facts are wrong. The Haryana government led by Hooda did not, read my lips, did not transfer Khemka. If he did, I would have gone and fought his case free of cost. He did not.
After he cancelled
No,
Robert
that's
Vadra's
wrong,
deal.
wrong.
Look,
False.
Midnight order, if I remember.
No, it
correctly.
wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. It's false.
No,
That's not the
I
fact.
remember the sequence of events because there was a lot
Nidhi,
that
I am
happened
so-
at that time.
Okay,
but
if I am right on facts, what
I'm
do
not,
I?
I'm not
if
going.
I'm right
I'm not
on my
going to go
facts.
into the history of Robert Vadra. I mean, there's a CAG report
Exactly,
that
you're
has
creating a
slammed
false
the
equivalence.
way the Hooda government gave favors
It
to
didn't
Robert
actually.
Vadra. I know, but there is a CAG report. I'll read
Exactly.
it out to you.
If you
So,
find any indictment,
please read
one
that
second.
CAG report.
Let's,
And we're
I've read
talking
all
about-
166
so you're
pages
on
of
the
it.
defensive today. Don't get into
I have read all
technicalities.
166
You all
pages of
know
it.
what you did with Ashok Khemka when you were in
I have
power,
read all
and you're
166
hiding behind technicalities. I'm sorry.
Nidhi,
One
if
second.
the
Aarti, I'm asking you to
CAG
come in.
report
I'm not
indicts
going into
anybody,
history.
the government should act on
I'm not
it.
going into history. Let's face the facts here, Aarti. I mean, this is classic doublespeak. Frankly, inconvenient bureaucrats are always targeted across political lines, aren't
Absolutely. You know, I think the most distressing thing about Ashok Khemka, maybe he's maverick or whatever, I don't know. The most distressing thing is that the Congress and the BJP speak the same language. They both, I mean, I remember last time when Ashok Khemka was transferred by the Hooda government, they called it a routine transfer. Now the BJP is saying it's a routine transfer. They transferred him last time also within a few months. The BJP government has done the same. And they all, both Congress and BJP, they obfuscate the issue all the time. And this is the whole point, that what is the difference between the BJP and the Congress? The BJP government was voted in Haryana because the people of Haryana were tired of the Congress government. They wanted a change. If the new government, the Khattar government, is going to behave like the Hooda government, then I mean they're belying the trust that the people of Haryana have placed in it.